this is another quick little snippety thing. Also VR related. Remember when we were talking? I don't think it was last week. I think it was a week before, where I said No Man's Sky was slowly releasing like 4 things. Well, the big thing was VR. So it's they have VR coming, and it looks pretty fucking wild. And every journalist that has got their hands on it, because with PAX East and everything else has happened, I think they were at PAX East, but they've been having journalists come in and strap on a headset, give her a whirl. Every single journalist has been super blown away by what VR does for No Man's Sky, which I totally get, because it's an exploration game, and the aesthetic of the game and everything, and being able to fly the ship and stuff and get down to the ground and run around, it's probably pretty dope.
Yeah, that's an update that excites me.
Yeah.
Because No Man's Sky, and I think I even said this when I was originally playing it, is this would be really cool in VR. Because it's a cool concept and a cool game in and itself.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nothing special in its current format. Especially now. Like back then, if they would have done what they said they were going to do and came out, they would have shocked the world. But now we've kind of seen a lot of the stuff that they're trying to or that they have recently implemented. So it's this. It doesn't hold that same weight, especially with the slip ups they had before. But the VR definitely changes the whole scope of the game. Like it makes the boring parts of the game, the repetitive parts of the game feel real. Like it adds this. Even more, I feel like I'd even play it slower in VR in terms of like you take everything in more. You take it in more, and thus when you do that, the game feels grander, feels bigger, and that's what they were going for. They tried to make a big game, a small game, a big game. That's what they tried to do, and I think in VR that might actually fly. Like that might actually fly. I do love the fact of space travel in VR, going very, very fast, seeing all the battles that are like those very repetitive, boring battles that go on.
But in VR, it will somehow look better.
It'll look better. It'll feel more intense. It'll feel more real. Yeah. Because there's this disconnect when you're not in the game. And I think that the way it's designed, I mean, I could be wrong. I'm actually giving No Man's Sky a compliment right now, which is
I'm impressed right now.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah,
I'm impressed. I'm surprised they didn't do this before.
Well, they probably wanted to for a while.
Yeah.
But just putting VR into a game like this is, I'm not a programmer. I'm going to say probably a bit of work.
Yes. Yeah, probably. The only downside I see to this, and it's not really a downside for the fact that they shouldn't do it. They should absolutely do this, and it sounds like they're going to, is VR. No Man's Sky is a game that you want to get immersed in and spend a lot of time in.
Yes.
And when you're in VR, they almost don't complement each other. Like when you're in like something like Cyan's new game.
Yes.
That complements VR.
Oh, puzzle adventure is
because
like
it's a puzzle
for
adventure.
VR,
You don't have to move around too much.
Yeah.
You're focused on certain parts, and you got little bits of adventure and immersiveness, and you can take it. You can go in and go out.
It's also harder to get like motion sick and stuff when you're not doing so much of the movement.
Exactly. In No Man's Sky, there's so much going on. The colors are super vibrant. Everything is glistening and crazy. It's plus you get movement and things going all over the place, which would be cool in small dosages.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you were to really grind out some No Man's Sky isn't a game you pick up for an hour or two and play. Typically, probably the people who are playing, it's like 4+ hour sessions.
Yeah.
And to have a VR headset on for 4+ hours and in environments like that,
be rough.
Extremely rough.
So what you're saying is don't do a bag of mushrooms and then strap on a VR headset and go play No Man's Sky.
Don't do that. It'd be a bad time.
It'd
be a great time.
Or do it.
Or do it. One of the two. But that's the only thing I see. Holy tits, we've got $50.
$50 from Philip.
$50 super chat. Jesus.
Then he said, I want balloons.
And we got a $2 super chat from Sergio. He wants balloons.
Let's go.
Well, I don't, and you know
we
what?
don't have any for you.
I burst all the balloons that we had here from my
for
birthday
Kai's
and then Kai's
yeah.
baby shower and stuff. Sadly, we don't have the balloons.
Rip. But yeah, VR, it's looking good. My only concern about it, even though I'm not going to be the guy playing this in VR. Obviously, I don't own a VR headset. I don't plan on owning one anytime soon. is the interactions with menus. Menus in VR are usually what will make or break games for people. Outside of the motion sickness stuff, is how easy it is to navigate the UI in VR.
Yeah.
And so, especially if you're talking about a game in VR where you're not just using a controller on your lap and playing the game basically normally, but you're just strapping a screen to your eyeballs. And No Man's Sky has, if there is the biggest criticism I can give No Man's Sky, they have the shittiest UI in the history of video
Horrible.
games.
There's menus on menus.
And if it isn't the worst, it's damn
Top 3.
It's damn close
Top
to
3.
the worst experience I've ever had in menus.
They need a Minecraft like menu, like in terms of how everything is down bottom and just in your face,
Easily selectable.
easily selectable.
Yeah.
Because when you're in VR, and I've noticed that every VR game that I've played, and strategically so, we didn't have menus.
Yes.
Resident Evil, there's like no menus,
Yeah.
right? You can change your items, but you don't really go into your items list all that much, like changing weapons, and then there's hotkeys to like bring out secondary weapons and things like that.
Yeah.
And then all the other VR games that I've played, it was more of an immersive thing,
Yes.
and there was a couple of buttons, and that was it.
It was like simplify the interaction with the controller.
down big time.
And just blow people's minds
That's
with
it.
whatever they're seeing.
They want to spend as little as time as possible in menus, and
Yeah.
as most time
Actually,
being immersed.
yes.
When you have immersion like that, you don't want to be in menus because it takes you out of the damn game. Then
Exactly.
you're like, oh, I'm playing a video game.
It's counterproductive to
It
the
is.
immersiveness that the VR headset's
Literally.
giving you.
Yes.
So that's my biggest concern with it. Everything else is going to be great. I mean, the visual style of the game, even though it is going to be hard on the eyes, it's going to in turn not because it's ugly, but
no.
because it's literally
A lot
just
going on.
a lot going on. I think that's going to be wild. I think that's going to be pretty cool for them. I think a lot of people are going to, anyone who has a VR headset's probably going to give it a spin, even if they don't own the game. This might be another thing for the market of people with VR headsets to pick it up and give it a shot. Because again, every journalist, even the ones that would like shit on them in the past, every single one of them, I haven't seen a negative comment really about
well, let's be real.
the VR.
No Man's Sky is essentially what a fantastic VR demo should be.
Yeah.
There's really no game in No Man's Sky from when I played it and from
Yeah.
what I've seen even recently.
Well,
it's like a massive concept.
It's a survival
it's
game.
a survival, yeah,
which
it's
is
a
the same
survival-
as every other survival
Yeah,
game.
it's
You explore.
that's it.
And you build bases and you survive.
That's it. It's like if Minecraft came in VR. If they
Yes.
literally made a VR Minecraft,
Yes.
it's the same thing. You're
Yeah.
gonna go mining. You're gonna go into the cave and the underground mine carts, and you're gonna build these crazy concoctions.
Which sometimes, I'm going to be honest, sometimes that's all I want to do.
That's it.
I don't want to go into a game and have to think real hard about everything
That's why
that I'm
it's
doing
perfect for VR.
and just give her a whirl.
That's why it's perfect for VR.
Exactly. So
Make it.
Yeah, let's see how it all pans out when it really hits the shelves. But for now, that is coming, and props to them. I'm pretty sure their dev team right now. I want you to buckle up for this. 6 people. So if you wanted to understand the gravity of just how awesome they've been doing since the entire world wanted them to commit suicide ritualistically in public, for 6 people to produce as much
good.
free content and the expansiveness of all this content that they've put out over the last couple of years is a bit of a mind fuck to me in the first place. So I'm going to give them a little slow clap.
Hire a 7th and work on those menus.
Yeah, maybe get, yeah, it's somewhere between like 6 and 12 people. It's crazy.
Hire one more and have him or her focus on menu only.
Yeah, just
That's it.
hire one UI person.
That's it.
And the only UI. Yeah, and there is VR. Yes, there is VR Minecraft. Yeah.
Well, nobody plays it. I mean, I've seen VR Minecraft like 6 years ago when I've seen people.
It was like one of the first things people were like, "Give me
yeah.
VR Minecraft."
But I mean, like a legit Minecraft experience in VR that's catered to VR.
yeah,
UI changing for VR, everything being for VR. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be very cool.
but we've got like the next like wave of VR headsets coming soon.
Yeah.
And so all of this stuff is landing. You're probably going to see some more VR stuff kind of cropping up as we get closer and closer to that. And things like less cables coming out the back of your head. You don't look like Neo coming up out
Thank
the fucking
God.
Matrix and shit. Like
Less
just trying
weight.
to. Yeah, exactly. Breaking your neck.
We need it to the point where they're literal glasses. You put on glasses, and that's it.
I'll be 90 years old by the time that happens.
Well, that's what we need.
It's
I mean,
true.
they can be thick glasses, like, make this a side stick
little
or,
heavy,
a
you're
little, or a
heavy.
little pack on the back of,
Yeah.
of your head.
Yeah.
But that's what we need.
The
These
shit's
big
getting real.
fucking,
It's getting real.
they're heavy, bro.
Yeah.
Hours of that shit, you gotta have a strong neck.
If you wanted to, ever look like, a wrestler, a collegiate wrestler, but you don't want to do neck bridges because you're pretty sure you'll break your neck doing the neck bridges, just put on a VR headset for a while and give it a spin.
That's it.
That'll get you right there.
You're already there.
Go take you from that 16.5-inch neck to a 24-inch neck in no time flat.